As the Braveheart approached the platform, the watch officer noticed wind gusts well in excess of what was allowed in the Manual of Permitted Operations. And as he was trying to decide whether the captain should be called to assess the situation, the port main propeller pitch suddenly moved to full ahead. The vessel moved sharply ahead and swung towards the platform. A strong gust of wind added to its momentum, and the Braveheart smashed into one of the platform's legs. The impact resulted in structural damage to both the platform and the vessel. A crew member was seriously injured and airlifted ashore for treatment. The platform shut in production, and non-essential staff were evacuated while the extent of the damage was investigated.
As soon as the team received confirmation that the pressure on both sides had been vented, they opened the receiver door to find that the stuck pig was close enough to be pulled out with a tool. But as they started pulling, a sudden release of residual pressure shot the pig out of the receiver with great force, killing one person and narrowly missing others working beside him.
The Braveheart had been checked by a third-party inspector before she'd set out. He'd gone through a full operational safety assessment and found that the vessel was in order. The crew in the company that operated Braveheart was competent and experienced, and their fleet of offshore support vessels had no history of major incidents. However, the main propeller fault had not been investigated fully, and the root cause was not established. When it failed again, the risk profile of the job completely changed.
The procedures for the pigging work were based on the assumption that the work would go according to plan. They did not highlight the checks and steps that were required if problems arose during the work. But the team had freed stuck pigs in the past and were confident that they could do so again. What they didn't know was that one of the valves in the pig receiver installation had been replaced. The new valve had a slightly smaller diameter than the original, which is why the pig had got stuck. When the change was made, no one thought that it would impact pipeline operations, which meant that the management of change process was not used to identify and mitigate risks. That seemingly insignificant change turned out to not only be important, it ultimately contributed to a tragedy.